Hello, hello. Let's talk about a very interesting topic, books. Have you ever read the book then you were like, you came across it, someone recommended it to you, and you felt, oh my God, why haven't I read this before? Because it was such a great game changer for you that you felt that it really was an insight or a tool or something that completely shifted the way you show up in your coaching business. I have a couple of books like that. And of course, as much as I can, I always share that with our members in the Thought Leadership Academy because a book is something that you have access to. It's very accessible. It's something that really goes through a step-by-step process, a framework, and can help you to go deeper into a specific topic. So today I'm going to talk about 3 different books that I usually recommend to our members, one about sales, one about marketing, and one about mindset. Those are the 3 pillars you need to develop in yourself if you want to have a successful coaching business. So we're going to talk about those 3. I'm going to talk about how I came across them and why I felt it was a big insight for me and how you can use it. And of course, I'm going to share this in the show notes. I'm going to give you a couple of links to go further and check it out. And before we go into these different topics, if you are new to this, my name is Daria. I'm the co-founder of the Thought Leadership Academy, and we help coaches and consultants to build a successful 6-figure business and beyond, having only 2 days of work per week of delivery and creating more impact than ever. So this is what we do. And if you want to go further, if you want to go deeper into this topic, I also have included a free training that you can check out whenever you want, how to get to 10K in 90 days. It's really helpful. And this is kind of that type of insight that I want you to have to really switch the way you go about your business in the upcoming 90 days. It's going to be super, super helpful. So if you haven't checked it out already, go to the show notes below, check it out, and you're going to love it. All right. So let's talk about this episode 18. If you're watching or if you are, listening to this on YouTube or Facebook or on any podcast channel, please subscribe, please comment. Please let us know what you take away from it. Tag someone who needs to hear it, share it. It's all about co-elevation. So let's go and let's dive right into the topic of today, which is 3 books that every coach must read to grow their coaching business. Okay. Number one is going to be about marketing. And this book is basically this. If you talk to any marketer any marketer that I know that is successful has read this book. They have it next to them. This is the book I traveled with when I was a backpacker, when I was traveling in Australia, when I was traveling, when I was a nomad. I always had this book with me because it's such a great book. And some of the best marketers I know who are having 6-7-figure online businesses, they come back to it every year. And the book I'm going to talk about is Expert Secrets. So Expert Secrets is written by Russell Brunson, who is the founder of ClickFunnels. If you don't know what it is, about landing pages, and he has a software where you can create landing pages. But let's talk about the book and foremost. How did I come across this book? First and foremost, when I was starting to have an online business a couple of years ago, my mentor gave me this book and he told me you have to read it. And when I've seen it before, to be very honest, when I saw it the first time, I felt like this is not for me, what this is about. It's like the underground playbook, mass movement. I didn't felt it was connected to me, but because my mentor really told me you have to read it because it's going to help you to create a better presentation, better webinar, I went into it. And the funny part, it was a Saturday. I was supposed to go out with friends that evening with my partner and friends, and I could not stop reading this book. I read the book in the weekend. I didn't go out. I just sat and I read it and read it and read it. And he's such a great storyteller, and he teaches you how to do it as well, but he's such a great storyteller that you cannot take it down. You cannot stop reading this book. For me, that's the way I felt about it the first time I read it. Now, this is the kind of book that you will have as a handbook. Some books I have on Kindle. I'm usually where I read books on Kindle, but this one specifically, I would really recommend to have the paperback. Why? Because this is such a great book to come back. It's a handbook. It's more like a workbook that you come back to over and over again. And if you actually apply what you learn in that book, this is why you have to come back to it many times, you will be able to create many things. So why would you read that book? Why should you care about reading it right now? The first thing you will learn in this book, so we're going to talk about 3 things that I really advise my members to read, why I advise them to read this book is, first and foremost, you start by understanding really what's going on in your avatar's mind, the dream clients that you will have, your prospects. And you might have done avatar work before, but Russell Brunson takes it to another level. You will learn how to really work with the psychology of the brain. You will work with what's going on, what are the limiting beliefs, why wouldn't you not take action? There's so much deeper understanding of what's really going on behind the scenes of your potential buyer, and you will learn how to work with that. It's an amazing tool. It talks about the chains of limiting beliefs, and you will learn about that, and you will be blown away how much you will understand about the inaction of your potential clients. Why are they stopping? What's going on in their mind? That's the first thing I would say that will help you to really get better as a coach, as a consultant. You will be better at understanding the real needs, and therefore you'll be able to serve your clients better. So that's the first thing. Second thing that you will learn is how to create the perfect webinar. So if you have a webinar and it's not converting and you don't know how to improve it, sit down with this book and just work through it. It took me 2 weeks to do it, and it was a bit painful the first time I did the webinar, but now if I create a webinar, I was sitting with one of my stage 3 members in Momentum this week as I'm recording this, and it took us about 1 hour to put together the actual framework for her webinar. Why? Because having done the groundwork for a couple of years ago, when I learned how to create a better framework for my webinars and having a sales conversion with my webinars, I am able to have it in me. Now I have that skill. So if you don't have a skill that allows you to sell from webinar, you have to read this book. You just have to go into it and work through it. It took me 2 weeks, like I told you before, but it's a skill that I developed. And the third thing I would say about this book is that you will learn how to become a better storyteller. You'll be able to tell more stories and tell more about the communication. So if you are doing a podcast, or if you're having, let's say, a webinar or a presentation, or if you're a speaker, you'll be able to develop a skill set of storytelling in your communication. And it's much more pleasant to listen to. So you'll become basically a better communicator, you will better understand your potential clients, so a better coach and consultant, because you're really in their mind where they're getting stuck, and you will be able to create the webinars. I mean, this book in itself is worth thousands of euros. If you would actually apply what's inside, and I have like notes all over it and I have post-its everywhere. If you would apply what you'd learn in this book, you will literally step up in your business. It's really, really amazing. So that's the first book I wanted to tell you about. Now, that's mostly about marketing, but as you know, a coaching consulting business, you need marketing, you need sales, and you need mindset. The second book I'm going to talk about, I don't have it in paperback, but I do have it on my Kindle. This is the kind of book I'm fine having on my Kindle because it's more about the actual stories inside than like a handbook. And it has to do with sales. It's written by Chris Voss, and the book is called Never Split the Difference. And the reason why I read this book, first, when I saw the actual book, there was this story about like what's in the book. And I'm just going to read it for you. So kind of a very short quote to give you an idea about this book called Never Split the Difference. It says, a former international hostage negotiator for the FBI offers a new field-tested approach to high-stake negotiations, whether in the boardroom or at home. So it's really about negotiation. And I mean, former hostage negotiator for the FBI, it makes you really curious, like, what can I learn from someone who had to negotiate? And that was not like, yeah, we'll think about it. Like, there's really like yes or no. We have to find a solution right now. And I was curious. I wasn't expecting too much because I was wanting to kind of develop my negotiation. And I love sales. I'm always seeing that there's always improvement in sales conversation, because social selling, becoming a better social seller, you never stop, right? You always can become better at serving the people that you have in your network. So for me, it's a skill like public speaking that you always develop. No matter how good you are, you want to be the best at it. So if you want to be the best in social negotiation, you have to read about it, you have to improve your skills. So a couple of years ago, I was reading this book and I was really surprised by what came out. And there are different aspects that if you feel like I would love to become better at sales, there's a couple of things in this book that have really changed the conversation I'm having with potential prospects. And it has helped me increase my revenue. It has helped my clients to increase their revenue completely. And it has shifted the way they have the conversation. And there's one specific I'm just going to mention, and I want you to read the book, and I'm not going to go so much deeper into it, but there's one section where they talk about the power of the no. And in many times in sales conversation, what I kind of discovered with this book was that we kind of push to the yes, and we are afraid of the no, and getting very familiar with the no and not stop at maybe. It's a better way to do this. So basically what we want to create, and that this book helped me to really understand, is that you have the yes. You want to, like, if I want to work with you and I say, hey, let's work together, and you say yes, that's amazing. But if you say, well, maybe, or I'll think about it, I'll come back to you, that means that I have to keep asking a question, and we have to keep going that conversation, because it's much better to get a no than get I think about it. Why would we stop at I think about it? It's because there's usually an underlying question. There's usually something that you don't know. And if you can work through that, that will allow you to go much, much deeper. So this book is really great for that, to understand that basically most sales conversation stop at 80%. And why do they stop at 80%? Because we never get to the no. This is really an interesting concept, because if you understand that, most of your conversation that you've had, you never really finish the sales conversation. You will get much better. You will close much more deals, and you will serve much more people, because you will actually have the hard conversation of understanding why someone is not signing up. Not just stopping and like, I'll think about it, I'll come back to you, because that's not the real answer. You need to go much, much deeper and see what's missing from both sides. And maybe sometimes it's a no because it's a no, but at least get to the no. And no is much better than I'll think about it. So that's the book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. I will love you to read it. It's about sales negotiation. It's really, really helpful. I only mentioned one concept from the book, but you can go much deeper. There is so much in it that will help you to increase your sales conversion massively. Okay, let's talk about number 3. Number 3 is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And there's also a seminar that goes with it, and he has a lot of trainings as well. I've done the seminar, the 2-day seminar, as well as read the book. I would highly recommend reading the book and doing the same seminar if you can. I don't know how it is when I'm recording, if they have an online version or not, but it's really worth going through that. So why would you read a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind? First and foremost, I would say that we all have to rewire our money beliefs, okay? So when I was reading that book, I come from a background where, we didn't really speak about money in my home, and I think I'm the first entrepreneur for 3 or 4 generations when it comes to, having my own business. So money was not really a conversation we were having in the house. It's nothing that was bad, but it was nothing really mentioned. So I never thought about having rewiring my money beliefs, because I never thought about that. So at some point I realized that why not? Why not reading this book, and why not starting to think about this conversation and see if there's something new I can learn. And when I did, I realized that there are a lot of beliefs I have about money from my education, from my school, from what I read and how I grew up, that I didn't even think about. And those limiting beliefs about money and what money represents for me is stopping me from growing my business. And that was a realization I had a couple of years ago, and I said, I have to rewire my brain, and I have to rethink and put the belief systems that I want to have that are empowering me about money and about making money, investing money, selling, all these things that we kind of have. A lot of people have a limiting beliefs about. And this is one of the first things, when we work with our members, when we take them from where they are to 6 figures, and then from 6 figures to multiple 6 figures, we have to talk about that. And if you're thinking, well, I don't have a problem with money, I can charge wherever I want. Well, why are you not charging 10x your current fees right now? If you're charging 1,000 for your offers, why are you not charging 10,000? And if you hear that question and you feel like, I cannot do that, that means that maybe you should read this book. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Why do I like this book? It's because it's very tangible, it's very actionable, and it's really helped you to have principles. And as I said, that most of your money beliefs don't come from yourself. They come from how you were raised, where you grew up, what you heard when you were a child, what you heard when you went to university, or when you worked, on wherever you watch on television, on wherever you heard around you. That's money beliefs that were put on you. And you have the choice right now to either keep them or say, you know that, this is not really empowering. I'm still not making enough in my business. I'm still not able to, have a life-work balance because I'm always overworking, because I'm undercharging. I cannot have a team. I cannot invest in the trainings because I have a problem with my money beliefs. And if you understand that, and if you start to read these books, then you will be able to have more success with your sales and marketing strategies and the tools that you're teaching. Because anyone can, if you go online and you read all these things, you can learn so much. But if your mindset is telling you that I cannot do that, I'm not good enough, I cannot earn money, I cannot, have a successful business, I cannot have a 6-figure business, then you're gonna be stuck. So it's really important to understand that mindset is one of the key principles for you to actually get success. And the most successful entrepreneurs I work with, they know that mindset is like 80% of everything. The unsuccessful entrepreneurs that are stuck under 6 figures is because they are still believing that money is bad, that having money is bad, earning more money than others is bad, having, selling your offers at 10K, 25K is bad. There's a lot of beliefs that it's dirty or that you're a bad person, whereas the more you make, the more you can give back. The more you make, the more you can be of service. So it's really about understanding that you're not doing something wrong with making money. So, and also investing, when I read this book, I also realized I have to invest in coaching. I have to invest in training. I have to get support. If I don't wanna have the same experience next year like I had this year, if I want to change the upcoming 12 months, well, I need to get help from people who have done it before me, who can help me, can hold my hand, and let's go together and get some things to happen. So this is really rewiring your belief system that will actually change the way your life's gonna go. It's really, really important book. It's very short. I mean, it will take you a weekend to read it. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker. I think it's a great book to start with if you're having hard time actually charging what you're worth. If you're feeling like I'm undercharging, but I'm afraid if I will charge what I'm really worth, then I'm not going to have any clients. Or if you feel like I'm very afraid to invest in myself, like in coaching, training, it's a good way to see how you can shift that belief and start to say that actually it's gonna be an investment so you can even grow more. And then it's also about seeing what beliefs do you have that are yours and what beliefs do you have that are not yours, that are actually put on you through your education environment, wherever you grew up in, that you can shift and you can say, this is not really helping me, it's not empowering me, so I don't want to keep it anymore. I want to shift that towards something that is going to help me to improve my life. So those are the 3 books I would recommend you reading. One was, as I mentioned, let's just kind of recap and talk about this. First book I mentioned was Expert Secrets to Improve Your Sales. Really great book. Get it in paperback, really go through it, like underline it. It's a workbook, it's a handbook, it's something I always keep next to me, something I always keep. Now, if I travel, I take it with me. That's how important this book is. The best entrepreneurs I've met, they read it once a year because there's so much depth and there's so much you can go deeper into this book. Really great work. Russell Brunson, it's worth so much more than the 10, 20 euros you're gonna pay online. Get it right now, not even a question. Number 2 is about negotiation. If you're afraid of sales, then this is a way to get a better understanding how to become a better negotiator, to really have that conversation with your prospects in a respectful way. It's called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Amazing book. I love that book. Will help you a lot. Also have Come at Peace with the No. That book allowed me to really respect the no, and the no has become an important part of our trainings to talk about getting to the no in your business, actually having a conversation until the end and not stop at, I'll think about it all, things like that. We want to go deeper. We want to go deeper and really serve our clients to understand and get uncomfortable having that conversation with them and understand why are they stopping? Why would they not go deeper? And number 3, we talked about Millionaire Mind, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, about your money beliefs, because your money beliefs will really frame what decisions you will make in your business. If you're having like online courses and you're trying to do everything by Facebook ads and really avoiding the sales conversation, it has a lot to do with your money beliefs, because you're afraid to have that conversation of actually charging what you're worth in your business. And if you tell me right now that like, I don't have the problems with money beliefs, just ask yourself the question, why are you not charging 10 times more for your services right now? And then we can talk about it again, okay? So, a couple of good questions for you for today, a couple of great books. I'm going to share in the show notes all the links to them so you can discover them more. You can find the reference for them. And let me know in the comments below if you read any of them and if there's any other book that you will advise someone to read that is a coaching consultant and has helped you really massively to transform your own business, because we want to share in the comments below as well. We want to be able to co-elevate. This is really about helping each other and helping the community to grow together. So if you like this episode, if you watch this live, if you was on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you were, please comment below. Let us know in the comments what was the biggest takeaway, which one you have read. What else would you add to the conversation? What other book would you recommend people to read? And if you haven't checked it out already, check out our live training that we did that was recorded for you that is called 10K in 90 days. Gonna be really helpful. I'm also gonna put that in the show notes. It's worth checking it out because it will help you to also reframe how you're going about your business. That's our goal. All right, that's all for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, bye bye.